Story 1. I snooped on my roommate's computer. I wish I'd found nothing. I know how this sounds, but I swear I had a reason. Every once in a while, when my roommate Connor wasn't home, I'd check his room. I didn't do this to steal anything or just snoop for fun. No, I wanted to reassure myself that I wasn't living with someone who'd eventually end up on the news. Connor isn't a regular guy. He's a little too proud of his German heritage, if you know what I mean. The kind of pride that sneaks into places where it doesn't belong. Nazi jokes that land wrong. WWW, 2 facts nobody asked for. He says them casually like he's just sharing trivia, but he always watches your face afterward, always checking for judgment. To make matters worse, he's obsessed with guns and knives. He collects them, displays them, lines them up on his wall like achievements. There's a twisted dagger mounted above his TV that he once called a real beauty, and I remember wondering why anyone would need something shaped like that unless they'd spent time imagining what it would feel like to use it. His room gives off bad vibes beyond just the murder weapons. Between morbid heavy metal posters for bands no one has heard of and the 2 movie posters he has, American Psycho and Joker, by the way, there's lots of old war memorabilia, always German. No old US Army helmets or Red Army Ushankas. Just the stuff his favorites used. That included a World War II gas mask hanging on the wall, stiff and yellowed from prior use. He fucking loved that thing and would wear it at night to freak me out. So yeah, I consider it my civic duty to search his room from time to time. Not because I'm nosy, but because when someone surrounds themselves with weapons, Nazi iconography, and incel stuff, you start wondering if they're going to act out one of their special interests. I sat at his desk and logged into his computer. His password was his favorite movie plus the same numbers he used for everything: 12, 13, and 14. No idea why those numbers, but he uses them everywhere. Guessing his password was easy. The browser that opened wasn't Chrome, it was Tor. Connor loved talking about the deep web, always grinning like he knew something everyone else didn't. At first it seemed stupid. Drugs, weapons, stuff so blatant it felt fake. I even laughed at one site offering hired killers like it was an online menu. It seemed my fears of Connor were unfounded. He was just using the dark web to cosplay being a criminal. None of it seemed real. I was about to get off when a message popped up on his computer through the open door. A chat app I didn't recognize. The sender name was just a single letter, X, Curiosity 1. It always does. The messages assumed I was Connor. X joked about him working during the matinees, mocked him for being sloppy, not using his ghost, whatever that meant. When I replied, pretending to be sick and home from work, the response came almost instantly. They sent a link. They called it a red room. I knew what that was, but I told myself it wasn't real. The FBI says they aren't real, so I clicked anyway. The screen went dark, then bright red, like a theater curtain pulling back. The chat exploded with emojis, popcorn, eyes, smiley faces, a demented Twitch chat. Then the stream started. There was a young woman on screen, tied up and terrified. The first bid was for her to get one of her fingers cut off and fed to her. I laughed at first. I actually laughed, thinking it was bullshit. But then a man in a hockey mask stepped into frame with a knife, not all that different from the ones Connor had hanging on his wall. The man cut her finger off like it was deli meat. She screamed, vomited it back up. He tried again, squeezing her nose to force her to comply. After 3 minutes, she ate it. I won't repeat the other bids. I won't repeat what people were asking. Just remember, Connor had more points saved than I'd seen spent so far, and people were spending a lot. I muted the audio and nearly threw up. I ran to my laptop, considered calling the police, but doubted it would help. They'd think I was making it up. Instead, I tried reporting the site to the FBI's Cybercrimes Division. When I returned to Connor's room to grab the site info, a private message popped up. I wouldn't do that, X said. Then, Ed. That's my name. How did X know it was me? How the hell did they know who I am? Did Connor tell them? Do what? I replied. Report the site like you're trying to do right now. It won't work, Ed. Why not? I replied, taking pictures of the conversation. Nice try. I'm in your phone too. You still can't stop me, I texted back. Then X replied with my full name, home address, credit card number, and my family's info. You don't want to be in the next show, do you? They told me to place a bid, not to save her, but to participate. All you gotta do is have him cut her. That's all, X explained. I bid, hands shaking. I didn't look at the number afterward, just stared, waiting for an error. Anything. The chat froze, then exploded. On the stream, the man in the mask tilted his head. He set the knife down. I didn't breathe until he held an electric razor. Hair fell into her lap. The chat went quiet. I felt sick, but relief too. I told myself I'd done something. Then another bid appeared, bigger than mine. The man grabbed a machete. I muted audio, but it didn't help. Her exposed scalp erupted red as she was cleaved to death. The stream ended. I cried until my chest hurt, prayed it was over. It wasn't. X messaged me again, said I had one more task, said it would be fun. That night, Connor came home like nothing was wrong. Headphones on, heavy metal blasting. He barely looked at me. Later, from my room, I heard his keyboard clicks, the Tor browser opening, the hum of his music. Another message arrived for him. Ready for the show? From X. I picked up the knife on the wall behind Connor. Always, Connor replied. When the stream loaded, Connor saw his own face. Confused, afraid. X's message. Great, because tonight you're the star. I won't lie. X was right. I did have fun. Story 2. Every year on my birthday, I receive a card from someone I don't know. Part 2. I showed the desk officer the live video. He didn't interrupt me. He just watched the screen, jaw clenched, hands folded, bracing himself. When it ended, he asked if it was live or a recording. I handed him my phone and told him it was live. I explained everything as quickly as I could. They dispatched units immediately to my house. They took me to a small interview room. No windows, just a table, 2 chairs, and a faint humming sound I couldn't place. A detective came in, older, calm, the kind of guy who speaks slowly so he doesn't spook you. I told him everything, every card, every birthday, everything leading up to this. I never told anyone before because it always felt harmless. Strange, sure, but harmless. He asked why I hadn't reported it sooner. I said my mother had once, but nothing came of it. Other than that, I didn't have a good answer. At some point, it stopped feeling like something happening to me and started feeling like something always there, like background noise. The detective returned, closed the door. They didn't find anything, he said. If it weren't for the video, it would be impossible to tell if anyone was there. No forced entry, no disturbed ground, no footprints, nothing inside, no fingerprints, no tampered locks. Clean, one officer said. The word stuck with me. Without physical evidence, they could do little. They filed a report and told me to call immediately if anything happened. I asked if I was in danger. He paused longer than I liked. He said it was good I wasn't going back to the house. I left the station at dawn, sitting in my car for a minute before starting it. That's when I realized if I hadn't checked my phone, if I hadn't seen the notification, I called my girlfriend, told her everything. She cried. I told her not to come back to our place. I'd explain later somewhere safe. Then I tried calling my mom. No answer. I texted. Still nothing. I drove, gripping my phone, every red light too long, every car too close. I reached my mom's house. Her car was there, lights off, curtains drawn, quiet. She opened the door slightly. Relief hit me. I told her what happened. Expected surprise. Got something else. She listened, eyes fixed, hands folded. When I finished, she let out a long breath. Asked about the first card, I told her. She asked if I'd ever thought who it could be. I mentioned my father. She froze, whispered his name, then reminded me he died before the card started. Whatever this was, it wasn't him. She took my hand, told me not to go back yet. The detective said the same. I needed things from the house. We drove back, parked down the block. The house looked exactly the same. The welcome mat was crooked. I knelt to fix it. There was a folded note underneath, pressed flat against the concrete. My phone rang. Unknown number, nothing on the line. Then a voice. "I see you found it. You shouldn't have involved anyone else. That complicates things. You won't do that again." The call ended. No click, no dial tone, just gone. I stood on the porch, phone in one hand, note in the other, suddenly aware how exposed I was. I didn't read the rest of the note. I didn't go inside. I got back in my car and drove. Since then, I haven't gone back. I've been bouncing between hotels, sleeping with lights on, keeping my phone silent, turning off location tracking. I haven't told anyone where I am unless absolutely necessary. I keep replaying that call. Not what he said, but how certain he sounded. I thought reporting this would help. Now I'm not sure there ever was a line. Whatever this is didn't end that night, and I don't think it's ever really been in the past. Come.